Welcome back to the Metro on 1019 WDET FM. I'm Tia Graham. The city of Detroit makes it a point to support aging residents with programs. Throughout its parks and recreation centers, the city puts on its annual Senior Olympics. The goal is to not only make sure the city's elders are supported, but it's also a way for a connection and being a part of a community. Competition ends this Saturday and concludes with an awards dinner dance at Northwest Activity Center. Cary Junior II, producer of the Metro, spoke with Crystal Perkins, director of the General Services Department, about this year's event. He also spoke about his time competing, He also spoke with Dr. Herman as well about his time competing and what he's looking forward to this year.
So tell me, Director Perkins, how long has the Senior Olympics been around?
37 years. We are in our 37th year for the Detroit Senior Olympics.
Wow, that's a long time. How did they even come about? I guess you weren't there maybe for the beginning of it, but
I was not.
Yeah.
Knowing the staff and knowing how the city operates, that we were looking to do something that's fun and active with our seniors to keep them engaged, to, participate in some of the sports and things that they do already at the separate rec centers, but just bring it together in a fun, competitive way because, our seniors are really the backbone of our community. So we want to make sure that we are taking care of them.
Yeah, that's fair. And I mean, talk about how this does that. How does this take care of them?
So with the Senior Olympics, it's just a reminder, not just a reminder to be active, but also getting them options, showing them what to do and enjoying life, which is an ageless process, right? And so, we had commercials in the past telling young folks to go out and play 60 minutes a day. I don't know if you remember those commercials, but we want to make sure our senior population is doing the same thing, being active. We know that walking and bike riding is not only good for your physical health, but it's also good for your mental health as well.
I wonder too, the participants in the Senior Olympics, do they have a background where they're regularly already active, or do you find that you find people who are like, you know what, I haven't done some activity in a long time. Let me use this as an opportunity to get back into some sports and some recreational fun?
No, it's both. It's both, right? So we have some very active seniors. We have a group of seniors who are very, very active, be it golf or art and craft or pickleball, even things like bid with and volley and basketball. But also events like this, we get exposure to seniors who may not have been active in the past. Sometimes they come to just be a spectator. Sometimes they come and jump right in into an event. Our events range from baking to 8-ball billiards, swimming. I think Dr. Glass is going to be participating in one of the swimming competition events, pickleball. So, you don't have to be a physically active individual to participate, but just getting up, being active, and being part of this event and the community is also healthy for individuals.
I'm glad you touched on some of the events and activities you all offer for these Olympics, because I was like, there are some pretty typical sports that people would expect. There's you have like a 50-meter dash, you have walking, you have some basketball. But as you just mentioned, you also have bid whiz and you have crafts and there's baking. Can you just talk about like how these events kind of came into to be a part of this Olympics? Like why include these as well? And I'm also curious how you score them. How are those kind of activities like a card game or a baking event are scored compared to some of the traditional sports?
Absolutely. So some of the less physical activities we have, like you said, baking, we have chess, sewing, ceramics, quilting, painting. Those events, just to bring some more inclusivity into the overall Olympics, right? Because we have like an art and craft community group who and they're seniors and they meet over at Butzel Family and they do all of this quilting and sewing, and they're even teaching the next generation how to pick up some of these same crafting skills. And so we just wanted to make sure we are all inclusive of all of the activities that we see throughout our rec centers. And so the things like card games. I scored, based off winners, who's winning the game, who's
Hmm.
top of the, it has the most points because these games do get points as well. Baked goods is also based off of, case testing
Mm.
and
Mm.
competition in those in that way. And the same for sewing, how does the product look, how fast, and what was the complexity of the quilt or, garment that was being created.
Who's judging these competitions?
The judging are some employees and some peers.
Some employees and some peers. Okay, so now if someone is like biased towards, I don't know, carrot cake versus, red velvet. How are we gonna? That's not a fair. Like, what if I have a really like delicious, soft red velvet cake, and then someone else is like, "Oh, I've got this okay carrot cake," but the judge is such a carrot cake lover. I'm like, "Oh man, I'm not getting a fair shake."
Yeah, no, we ask our judges, our panel to be unbiased, right? We hope that they will follow that. And it's all a fun and games too. So
Absolutely.
everybody's a winner
I
at the Senior Olympics.
Not to impose,
The
but I do
idea,
feel like there should be like a smack talking competition for the card game table. Man, if y'all playing Big Wiz, it's gonna get lively for sure.
and it might. I think the main thing is just that we have the space for the seniors to come out, come together, and be out and have fun amongst each other. Later in the summer, we do have Senior Friendship Day. We do this big thing at Shane Park that they really love, and I think the most part is just the messages, getting out, being active, but coming together, enjoying each other, having fun. That's the main thing.
Do they win anything? Are there medals?
Yes.
Is it bragging rights? Oh, okay, yeah. Tell me a little bit about that.
Medals and that bragging rights. We can send you a picture of the medals that we have,
Hmm.
but we do issue out medals to the seniors, to the winners.
Dr. Glass, I'm curious to know. So you're a swimmer. I'm a little bit of a swimmer myself. Can you tell me a little bit about the what events you're taking place in? What strokes?
I got a gold medal in the butterfly last
Oh,
year.
okay,
I'm
coming
in
out
the
with the accolades.
70 plus year old category, so I'm
All right.
72. And I've been in practice almost 44 years now, seeing patients. But I still see patients 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I can play golf twice a week,
Hmm.
which I just competed in the Senior Olympics golf tournament this morning. They were just finishing up. So we had good participation, and you talked about smack talking. There was a lot of that going on the golf course today, but we had a good time. My clinic also participates in the Senior Friendship Day. We set up a booth and give out some of the free rehabilitation exercises for seniors so that they can stay flexible and active, and showing them the way to do that with
Can you explain a little bit
what we
about
do.
that? It's like a
Well,
pamphlet, or is it some tools that people can take home with them?
yeah, it's actually pamphlets they can take home with them free. We provide it free of charge so they can do some home rehab, some of them yoga-oriented exercises, which I tell patients all the time, the only way you're going to stay flexible is by stretching. And it's kind of a funny thing I tell them. I said, look at your pets, look at your dogs and cats. What do they do when they get up? They stretch every time they get up. And we sometimes get up out of bed, we hit the bathroom, hit the kitchen, whatever, we're out the door. And I teach the patients how to stay flexible and stretch. And that's part of what we provide for the Senior Olympics and for Lisa Cunningham and her group to help the seniors be more flexible and participate in the activities.
And now, Dr. Glass, you said you won the gold medal last year. A little flex there. No shame in that. I appreciate that.
No,
Come and let us know.
butterfly. Yeah.
And the butterfly. That's fantastic.
Yes, sir.
How many years have you been participating in the Senior Olympics?
I've been participating the last 4 years
Okay.
and being one of the sponsors monetarily. So the sponsors, we have our little name printed on the T-shirts and everything. So it's all about giving back. I like to give back to the community. I've been Detroit doctors for a long time, so I like to participate in things that give back to the community. That's what I'm all about.
Are you doing it solo? Do you have friends or family join you?
Now, I have a group of doctors, I'm Dr. Herman Glass, and I'm part of Detroit Medical Society and part of some of the organizations in Detroit. But mainly, I go out and do a lot of the community work myself. I have a great staff, but I like to go and be with the community and provide any free services that we can provide for them with some of the health fairs and the Senior Friendship Day and things like that. I've just always participated in events that give back, and that's what I'm very proud of for our clinic.
Can you tell me about maybe one of the kind of highlights of your Senior Olympics from the past 3 or so years you've been participating?
Well, one of the highlights a few years ago, I had not signed up for the run, the sprint, the 50-yard, 100-yard dash, and so I was at the booth doing consults with my lab jacket on, looking very medical, and so I told my staff, I said, I think I'm gonna go over and run. I had some gym shoes in the car. I didn't have the proper running attire, but I ended up getting a silver medal anyway. And I said, I'm going to do that one every year now. So that was a highlight. But the swimming, I love to swim. I was, being my age, I was the first African American on the swim team in the 60s at Southfield Lathrop. And so I've kept up swimming through activities such as scuba diving. I'm a scuba diver. So, I'm pretty good in the water at my age. And so I exhibit that in the Senior Olympics.
Okay. And then, Director, I want to also ask you, too, what are some of the moments that you remember from the years of overseeing? Is there a moment that sticks out to you? Was like, this is what, this is events all about?
So, for me, I like to watch the track competition. Even when the walking and the dashes, I like watching that because I like seeing the seniors compete in that event. It's heartwarming for me.
You've already given me kind of your highlights. What are you looking forward to throughout this week? I know you had the golf tournament already, and we've got more stuff kind of going on throughout the week, today, tomorrow, and it ends Thursday. What are you looking forward to? Are there any other events? I'm assuming yours is the walk, Director, but anything else?
No, so for me, hearing that Dr. Glass is competing in swimming tomorrow, I'm going to try to come out for that. I am. I don't know if you remember, we met last year in studio. I'm going to come out and watch you, cheer you on for that.
Thank you. Yes. The highlight I had, and I've had in the past, is some of the super seniors in their 90s. I think I took a picture with the oldest participant last year. I think she was 91 or 90. And it's just good to see the seniors out there. And for me to provide a little help to any of the seniors that need help with flexibility with our clinic, with the rehab therapy that we have. So I just enjoyed being around the super seniors, and me being at 73 years old, I'm almost a super senior myself.
Dr. Glass doesn't move or sound like a super senior or being close to one.
If you're getting a gold medal on the butterfly, that's some impressive flexibility and athleticism for sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, and you were talking about how you also you engage in this event not only to participate but to also, like you just said, encourage other seniors to get moving. And I know you said you give out a brochure for folks that they can take home. Are there any other things that you do to help facilitate that healthy living, wellness mindset for folks?
Well, again, learning what their goals are for healthy living and wellness. It's all about staying well, trying to promote wellness before you get sick. Let's try to keep you well rather than waiting until you get sick and then running to your doctor to, get late care. Let's stay well, and that's what we do at our facility. So Dr. Glass and staff, we do all of that.
All right, thank you both, Director, and thank you, Dr. Glass, for joining me and talking about Senior Olympics.
That was Metro producer Cary Junior II speaking with Dr. Herman Glass II and Director of the General Services Department of the City of Detroit, Crystal Perkins. The Detroit Senior Olympics are happening now through this Saturday. From the WDET newsroom. The Tigers beat the Orioles 5-3 in Baltimore. Spencer Torkelson hit his 16th home run of the season for Detroit, which leads the American League Central Division by 8 games. And the Indiana Pacers host Game 3 of the NBA Finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. The series is tied at a game apiece. Lawyers say Michigan State University has reached multi-million-dollar settlements with 3 students who survived the deadly mass shooting there in 2023. MSU wouldn't comment on the specifics of the cases. General Motors has abandoned its plans to build electric vehicles at its Orion Township assembly plant. The company will make gas-guzzling SUVs and pickup trucks at the plant instead. The company also says it will move production of 2 Chevrolet models from Mexico to the U.S. within 2 years. CEO Mary Barra, who had once committed to an all-electric future, now says GM will produce a broad range of vehicles, including gasoline and EV models. Coming up, we'll hear from a local advocate about the issues that are most pressing to Detroit voters ahead of this year's mayoral election. We'll be right back. This is the Metro. Stay right there.